Hello, my name is Pastor Steve Nordgren from U-Turn for Christ in Greenville, Tennessee, and came to U-Turn for Christ back in 1996 with a life that was ravaged by methamphetamine use and really just kind of hanging out in the riverbed with a lot of homeless folks and digging out of dumpsters and God brought me to U-Turn for Christ where I really met the Lord and I came to a point in my life, where I had to take an honest look at my life and just say, hey, something is seriously wrong. I tried numbers of times to get clean and sober and many different programs, and nothing really worked. And what happened when I got to U-Turn for Christ was such a difference from what I had seen in other programs. And a lot of those things I'd like to share with you real quickly. And one of them is that U-Turn for Christ is basically a spiritual fast. It's an opportunity to come into a place where all the distractions of the world have been removed for you. And what I mean by that is that there's no phone calls or computers, and there's really no communication with the outside world. You're on in a very ranch setting and where you're close with other people that are getting to know the Lord. And so it's really a fast of so many things, and a time to be able to sit still, a time to really come into a relationship with the Lord, really to get to know God in a personal way, and that's done through the Bible teaching that goes on there. The first thing in the morning when you wake up after you make your bed is you're in devotions at 6 o'clock in the morning, and you're in the book of Proverbs, and you're getting that wisdom for the day. And then in the lunchtime, we're in the book of Psalms, going through the book of Psalms and just really getting into a heart of praise and adoration to the Lord as He's doing a great work in us. We begin to now have a heart of praise and thankfulness to God for what He's doing. And then every night there'll be different teachers that come in and teach the Word of God, and different pastors of different churches and Calvary chapels there, and it's really a neat time. But it doesn't stop there because there's a time of prayer in the mornings and evenings, and then I really like the time of Word Fast. And what Word Fast is where we shut it down, and at about 9 o'clock, then we enter into a time of no talking and just opening up our Word and hearing from God personally, and we get the opportunity to read wherever God would have us, and so we, I remember just choosing the book of Romans and just going through it those times during Word Fast and shutting things down that way. So U-Turn for Christ is an amazing place in that it's really geared around just getting into the presence of God. And I don't think I really ever experienced the presence of God until I came to U-Turn for Christ. I had so many distractions in my life, and so much of the time my flesh was ruling and reigning, while sitting still and being at U-Turn for Christ really provided an environment where I could come to know Jesus personally. And the other thing I'd like to share on is actually the effect. The effect that this has on a person, it just begins to allow you to grow and to be like that tree planted by the rivers of water, which would bear its fruit in due season. And so, now to see the fruit begin to be born in your life is just an amazing thing. And then you look around and you see it going on in other people's lives, and it's so very exciting. It got so very exciting for me to see it in my own life, but in the others around me, that I said, wow, I want to be a part of this. Oh, I'd love to be able to help other people to get to this point in their relationship with the Lord where they're bearing fruit and they're having their lives restored and their families restored and their children given back and marriages that we've seen restored over and over again. So really, in a nutshell, I consider U-Turn for Christ like a greenhouse. And the greenhouse is a place where a plant can go and it can get roots down deep. It can be watered. It can be out of the elements of the wind and the sun and the rain, and it can become that beautiful flower in due season. And so the greenhouse has really been an analogy that the Lord's given me, but also taking a look at throwing a rock into a pond and really the effect of that. And how it was in our lives before, it was like a tidal wave, throwing a big boulder in there and it was this tidal wave. But now as we just throw a rock out into the pond, and the ripple effect of our lives now reaching out to our families and into our communities, and just the good things that God does, and He just begins to restore things. I've had my daughter restored back into my life, and I've got to officiate her wedding and stuff. Such a huge blessing, and to have my sisters and brothers all turning to the Lord, and gosh, nothing could be better.